Hannah Storm and Kevin Nagandi with more on the breaking news about Tiger Woods. And just moments ago, authorities said there was no immediate evidence that he was impaired in the car crash that seriously injured both of his legs earlier this morning in Los Angeles. At a news conference which ended moments ago, the police chief and the fire chief of LA County, they didn't answer follow-up questions on how they knew that he wasn't impaired or how fast he was driving. They did, however, say that weather, fog, nothing like that was a factor in this crash. Sheriff Alex Villanueva, the fire chief Daryl Osby said that Woods was conscious. He is able to communicate with authorities when they arrived to pry him from this SUV that they're looking at, which has since been removed from the scene on a flatbed truck. You see that tree that has been sheared there. They confirmed that the car hit the median. It rolled about 700 feet, and that indeed there was so much power there that the car actually sheared a tree, but that the interior of the car, as bad as it looks on the outside, the interior was intact. He was wearing a seatbelt, which they said saved his life. Here is what we know. Tiger Woods involved in the single car rollover accident. The call came in at 7:12 a.m. Pacific time in Ranchos Palos Verdes, California. It did come in from a neighbor who reportedly had heard the crash and called. The LA County Sheriff's Office also said that the vehicle, as you can see, this is obvious, it did sustain major damage, but again, not to the interior of the car. And his agent, Mark Steinberg, has released a statement saying he sustained multiple leg injuries, that he underwent surgery this afternoon. One of the other very insightful things we heard is that he was able to be taken, as Ramona Shelburne joins us now, outside of Harbor-UCLA Medical Center. He was able to be taken to there, which really was the most appropriate hospital given his injuries, because his life was not believed to be in danger, Ramona. They didn't have to take him to the nearest hospital. So can you expound on that, why he is where he is?
Yeah. Well, this is a trauma center, okay? And there's a couple of local hospitals nearby, but when you have a serious trauma, they take you here because they're equipped to deal with the kind of injuries that Tiger Woods was sustained. You know, as of about 30, 40 minutes ago when I had checked, he was still in surgery. I need to get another update on whether he was still in surgery, but there's some question of whether he will stay here or be moved to another UCLA hospital that's in Westwood later on. But right now, I was listening to that press conference just as well as you were, Hannah, and I thought, that it was just a really compelling, just live on the scenes comments from the first responder to the set, where he essentially said, to the scene where he said, I tried to keep Mr. Woods calm and said it'd be more appropriate for LA Fire Department to remove you from the vehicle than me. He was alert, he was talking, he was in shock. I mean, that fits all the descriptions of, when people are first in car accidents. I was talking to a patient who had just walked out of the hospital, had a procedure here earlier this morning, and he said all the TVs inside that hospital are tuned into the local news coverage. All the doctors, all the patients, all the staff, they know who's in this hospital today. And what's going on inside these walls that are right behind me.
Something else that we confirmed, and obviously you're there in Los Angeles and know the area well, Ramona, was that where this accident happened, and they said that he was indeed going northbound on Hawthorne Boulevard, north of Palos Verdes Drive, and he hit the median. He was coming from Terranea, which is a resort there, and he was on his way to Rolling Hills Country Club for a golf shoot with actually Drew Brees and Justin Herbert. I'm sure you heard that report earlier from Shelley Smith. Give us a sense, though, of what they were saying about the slopes and curves in that area, and that it is a very dangerous area that's known to have accidents.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of locals who live right there. I've actually driven by that area myself, and it's not a freeway, right? But people drive it like it is. And you're going really fast, and there's curves, and the median, if you see the footage there, it's not like a wall. It's just like a raised curb, so you might not even see it if you're going fast and you don't know the area, if you're not familiar with it. And I think all the locals I've talked to said, yeah, that's where people have accidents, right there. And so if you're not as familiar, this is what can happen. And obviously he was going at a pretty high rate of speed down that hill, which contributed to this accident, which contributed to him, it's 700 feet from where he hit when he first struck the median. And so I think that's really what we're trying to piece together what happened here. I talked to somebody who was on set with him yesterday, you saw the videos of him and Dwayne Wade, and we've seen that. Obviously, this was pretty early in the morning, and he was going to the set again from Terrania for this Golf Digest shoot, and then supposedly was going to leave after that. But,
Golf TV.
We're still waiting for his condition to emerge after the surgery.
Yeah, a golf TV shoot. He was kind of teaching something that had been in the works for a long time and scheduled, obviously, on the back end of the Genesis Invitational, the tournament, which was held to benefit his charity over the weekend. So, Ramona, listen, you reported approximately a half hour ago. So now it's 3:42 LA time. This accident happened fairly early in the morning, and you recently reported that he was in surgery. So I'm looking forward to your reporting. I'm sure it's really, really tough to get any kind of information out of there, as they made it very clear that Mark Steinberg and his representatives really don't want anything released on his condition right now. But I'm sure as soon as you know more about the surgery itself, you'll let us know, and we appreciate your reporting on this.
Well, I mean, the way it's described is, you got it, Hannah. I mean, the way it's described is really just very serious leg injuries, and they take their time with that, right? These surgeries can take a long time to make sure you get it right.